and welcome back to our garden. This is Beyond Gardens Live, and it's brought to you by the Water Corporation. My name's John Colwell. I'm joined today by John McWilliams and Gary Heddy, and between the three, so far we're doing okay, but Noni had us thrown, but
yes.
we'll sort out Noni in the meantime, won't we?
Exactly.
We've got lots of things. We've got lots of calls.
We have got lots of calls, but first, John, with all this rain, tell me what's growing in your garden?
Well, this.
Right now, the fastest growing plants in my garden are the weeds. It's amazing. I just don't know where they come from. You look down one day and you see a little bit of green and you think, yeah, weeds are coming. I better do something about it. Then the next time you look down, seems like the next day, wow, that little green thing has grown fully. It's flowered, it's matured, it's thrown seeds everywhere, all of which are going to become a problem for next year. It's very true that old gardeners saying, 1 year's seed, 5 years weed. And the moral for the tale for us is when you see weeds, get onto them as soon as you can. There are 3 ways that we can control weeds, and let's deal with the chemicals first. Most of the common herbicides that you can get have glyphosate as the active ingredient. It's on the label. Glyphosate herbicides work well, but there are some guidelines for their use. Firstly, they rely upon the plant taking up the herbicide. So the healthier the plant is, the better the products will work, and vice versa. Always use at the recommended strength. It doesn't work better if you make it stronger. In fact, it may not work as well, and you'd just be wasting money. Glyphosate is only absorbed by green parts of the plant, and it's not selective, so you have to be careful in application. If you have a small plant nearby you don't want damaged, you might want to try this trick. Place a flower pot over it to prevent accidental drift. Now, in theory, you do have a little grace to wash the herbicide off if you accidentally spray a plant, but in my experience it is much, much better not to spray it in the first place. Timing's important with some weeds. Plants like oxalis, better known as soursop, can be controlled with glyphosate, but it has to be applied before the plant starts to flower, at which stage all the small bulbils underground are still connected to the parent bulbs. They separate at about flowering time, so if you leave spraying too late, you may kill the parent bulb, but all those little bulbs will come up to haunt you next year. Some plants seem to be immune to the effects of glyphosate. Clover is a good case in point, and some plants certainly don't like it being used nearby. Roses and proteas spring to mind. And you should recognise also that since glyphosate-based herbicides contain some sort of spreader or sticker to make it stay on the leaves, it shouldn't be used near waterways, swamp gardens and frog gardens. And lastly, although there are different formulations, some of them called fast-acting, any glyphosate-based herbicide takes a long time to have an effect, especially in cooler weather. If you don't want to use chemicals, then you have 2 other options for weed control. Firstly, there's physical removal. Getting down on your hands and knees and removing plants individually might seem slow and tedious, but it's a great opportunity to think about the problems of the world, and I find it remarkably therapeutic. If the weed you're pulling up hasn't seeded, you can quite simply pull it up and drop it down again to let nature recycle it, but make sure you shake the soil off the roots, otherwise you might simply be transplanting it. If the weed you're pulling up does have seeds, then you need to take those seeds off, or the whole plant, and put them in the compost.
Another way to control the weeds, well, the annual ones anyway, is to smother them, to stop the light from getting through to the green parts of the plant. And all plants need light. There are a number of things you can use for this. In the past we used to use black plastic. Now, temporarily, that's okay, but it can only be there for a few days because after that it starts to damage the soil. You'll also hear suggestions of people perhaps saying, well, what you can do is use newspaper, which sort of does the job, but I find that the newspaper, once it dries out, becomes non-wettable, and then that prevents water from getting to the plants that you want to keep. So newspaper's out. There is really only one good solution for controlling weeds by smothering them, and that is to use a good water-wise mulch. Same mulch that we've used elsewhere. Large, coarse, irregular particles that hold little, if any, water. Use these to smother the plants out. And not only will you kill the weeds under there in the first place, but you'll prevent further weeds from growing, and you'll get all the other great advantages of using a good mulch.
Well, that's your weekend taken care of, isn't it? There's a lovely definition of a weed, by the way, being a plant out of place. And as far as I'm concerned, it means out of my place. And of course, I wish I'd actually practiced what I preach sometimes.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
It's just keeping on top of it. That's really the hard part. This is Beyond Gardens Live, and it's your opportunity to talk to us, to ask us questions, to brag, perhaps, if you want to. John McWilliams, Gary Heddy, and myself are here waiting your call. Actually, we don't have to wait because apparently there's a queue at the garden gate already.
Yes, we have. So,
is that right?
Yep.
So, hello and welcome to Beyond Gardens Live.
Oh, good evening, gentlemen. It's Sue from Gooseberry Hill.
Yes, Sue.
I'm calling for my husband, who is very unhappy. We have 2 avocados, which flowered and fruited with about 100 fruits on each last year. They got to about 6 to 7 centimetres. Beautiful round, oval-shaped green fruit, and then proceeded to fall off. And we finished up with no avocados for the year. Do you have any answers for us? Could you tell us what should we do this year? They're just starting to flower again. Okay. How can we hold our fruit on the tree?
Well, number one, do you know the history of the tree? Was it a seedling?
No, they were both purchased from a nursery.
So it's a grafted avocado.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, both of them.
Because seedlings can do that as they're learning to, I mean, seedlings, you don't know what you're going to get, but they're not too bad. I would think that what it probably suffered from mostly is what avocados do suffer from in our climate. They're quite happy with the cool weather. They're not tropical plants. People think they are, but they're not. They actually come from a temperate climate, but what they really don't like is our heat and our dry. So the wind can play havoc with them, and the temperature can play havoc. Windbreaks are very useful, but the most useful thing of all, if you're just watching that weeds program, is to get a mulch like that on the ground around the tree. Yes. That really is perhaps the most important thing you can do.
Yeah, they seriously drought stress.
Yeah, it's because that mulch is so good at saving water. Just at the risk of repeating himself, but I don't mind in this case, large, coarse, irregular particles that don't hold water. That's all you need, right, in a mulch, and that's what you use underneath the tree. And so I would, not just underneath the tree, by the way.
Goes wide.
Yeah, go out 2 or 3 metres if you can.
2 or 3 metres?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's beyond the drip line.
Yep.
Has to be beyond the drip line.
Okay, he has quite a lot of pea hay on there at the moment.
That's...
Sorry, what was that?
Pea hay. Yeah, I would probably I would put the mulch, a good quality mulch, shredded tree prunings, pine bark, wood chips, over the
put it over the top.
The pea hay.
Over the top.
Because the pea hay is increasing the drought.
Yeah. Pea hay, I know it sounds strange, but using a soft mulch like pea hay will actually increase the moisture loss from the soil, not conserve it.
Right.
Right,
Well,
so that's undoubtedly stressing it. But the coarse mulch will fix it up.
Something there.
Yeah, yeah.
Very good. And what about pollinating? We're told that we should try and pollinate the flowers.
In the ideal world, you'd have, well, in fact, in the ideal world, you'd have 3 different avocados, but you probably want 2. But many people do get quite a crop. They're partly self-fertile. They do get quite a crop with just 1. And if you've gone as far as getting to that size, then you're probably okay.
I was going to say, if you're disappointed with 100 baby avocados on your tree, then...
I'm just wondering too whether there's potential to thin them out a little bit until you get used to how much water the poor old root system can bring.
Yeah, look, it is tough, but as I say, the plants seriously stress over summer. Look, this is how an avocado look when the wind's been blowing on it just a little bit. Was that up there, or am I? No, it was there. I'll bring it back. There we go. Hang on, I'll try again. Try that one. That's the wind and heat damage you can expect in summer with avocados without protection. And you can see there's bare soil underneath that. That mulch is really so important.
Okay, right.
Okay,
we'll get onto that.
Keeps your tree happy.
I'll keep him busy.
And saves water as well.
Keep him busy. Although once he mulches with that good mulch, he'll never need to worry too much. So.
I love these questions that say, you know, I'm ringing on behalf of my husband who went in with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
But
Oh, he's good at that.
yeah. All right.
We have our uses.
Thank you for your call.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Ooh, that was interesting.
Well, yeah, the wonders of live television.
The
But there are more
aliens
people
coming.
banked
Yes,
up.
we have.
Hello, welcome to our next caller. Hello.
Hello.
Yes,
I'm
you're
Linda
on.
from Perth.
Say that again.
I bought a fuchsia
Yes.
about a month ago, and some of the leaves on one side of it's a hanging basket. One side of the plant with the leaves have wilted.
Okay.
Was that a fuchsia?
I believe it was a fuchsia, yes. So, I'm just...
And half of it's growing and half of it's not.
Yeah, look, let me do, for those people who are unsure what we're talking about, that's...
Good old.
Have we got it? I don't know. Well,
There it is.
yeah, there we go. There we go. Fuchsias are much tougher than most people give them credit for. I must admit, I've always thought they were really wussy plants, but the ones we have at Araluen are treated quite hard, and they do, in fact, quite well. It's summertime that's difficult, but if you've got one stem that's wilting, I'd be looking for a borer. I'd sharp pair of secateurs, snip that stem off, and hopefully that'll fix the problem.
Oh, I haven't seen any borer, but it's not because it's not enough water or I put too much water.
If have the leaves gone brown?
Just wilted.
Just
And,
wilted.
Wilted.
Yeah, I would
It
suspect the
sounds
borer. If the
insectish.
leaves have gone brown, then you might have been overwatering it. But if it's just one branch, one stem, and the leaves are wilting, then I'd probably think a borer, and secateurs would be the best way to go.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm wondering
Thanks
too,
you, Cor.
wondering whether someone's been spraying next door.
Hanging basket.
Well, a
Been one
possibility.
side.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
possibility, but we are guessing.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, sorry.
This is where photos certainly help with emails. But we do have another caller on the line.
Hello.
Hello, hang on.
Good.
We're going well.
Is this Beyond Gardens?
Yes. I hope so.
I want to know, where can I get some dragon tree seeds?
Well, that's a good question. The dragon tree, we were talking about it
last
week.
week. Yeah.
Last week, yeah. Dracena Draco, I think it is.
Show the big one from Kalgoorlie to make everyone jealous.
Oh, you want me to find that one again? Oh, yeah,
If you can find it, otherwise...
Well, there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, there it is.
There's-
That's
stunning,
a big
that
one
is.
in Kalgoorlie. But you'll see some excellent ones in... No, I'm told it's not Supreme Court Gardens anymore, but the ones we used to call Sterling Gardens, I think they are now, aren't they?
Didn't know it changed.
One we used to call Supreme Court Gardens. I don't know. It's the sort of thing that would be rarely offered. I can tell you that the seeds, I know, have to be fresh when they're sown. They don't last too long, apparently. That's my understanding. I know they germinate because I've got them popping up around my place. I would think what you need to do is to spend some time sitting underneath a large dragon tree in Supreme Court Gardens at the right time of year.
Yeah.
You get my drift?
No, I get you. I get your drift. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
I think that might be your
best
only
bet.
source.
Yep.
It would be such an obscure seed that I don't think any commercial operator would be selling it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could I look on the internet?
You could, but quarantine would not let it in.
Yeah.
I think, anyway. You know, we've got to be so careful on the internet because it is dead easy to order all sorts of stuff in seed form. And it's dead easy to bring in a lot of potential problems, diseases or potential weeds.
Absolutely.
And really, we shouldn't be doing it. We should be acting responsibly and only getting our seed from regular suppliers. Now, whether or not that involves a quarantine charge is something that's still up in the air. Haven't heard any more about that lately. Perhaps somebody can tell me, but...
Yeah, I might just go to the nursery and ask them and see
look.
if they tell me.
where I can get them from.
Quite honestly, by the time you've finished mucking around, you might just as easy go to a nursery and ask for a plant. Yeah. Not that they're offered everywhere, but they are occasionally.
Yep.
Yeah, I might just do that. I'll just go buy from nurseries.
Okay.
That's it.
Well,
Great.
good luck with it.
Yeah. All the best.
Yeah.
Thank you, all the best.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks
for
very
your
much.
call.
Okay, we have another caller on the line.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. That's a change. Yes. Good evening.
Oh.
Hello.
Yes. Hello.
TV's on.
Oh yeah, sorry, I had nothing but I need to know about that citrus leaf miner because it's like over the last few years it's got 10 times worse than I've ever seen it. Now it's on the lemons and limes, and I've got one orange tree in a pot, and sorry, I didn't turn my thing down. And I've let the old growth had the leaf miner in it, but every single leaf had it. I couldn't take them all off. But now that the new growth started,
coming back.
Like some of the brand new growth got it straight away, and I thought I would have already taken off or done what I've done. I've turned from a grub. I don't know what.
Well, the citrus at the moment looking magic, by the way. We were talking before the program. I'm saying my garden at the moment is just, full of scent. Beautiful, heady
and
scent.
That's why the ladies' fuchsias aren't going too well on one side because we had that 24s and 25s in the middle of winter.
Yeah, they're tougher plants. Well, let's get back to the citrus leaf miner.
Yep.
It's not that new now. I remember saying it was a brand new problem we hadn't seen before. Hang on, this is probably a better picture. Yeah, it is, as the name would suggest, a little insect that gets in the larval stage and bores in between the upper and lower surfaces of the leaf. It does weave and leave this typical serpentine snake-like pattern on the leaf. As a result of the damage, the leaf will often die and become twisted and distorted. Now, it looks unsightly, but in most cases, the damage is not severe enough to really warrant any action. But if you want to, then white oil is your best treatment. Hello. Yeah, I think I said the wrong thing. Yeah. Look, if you want to treat them, white oil is the best treatment. Yeah, and that involves, when you're using white oil, what you're trying to do is smother the insect, so it involves total coverage. Yeah. All over to the soaking point.
Absolutely.
But do you bother?
No, I don't worry about it.
I personally don't.
And the good thing is that if you get your citrus to the height you want, they start.
They take care of
it. Every new shoot that pops up, they do this thing and they prune the fruit tree for you.
Regular light.
But worth checking the citrus right now, not just to go and smell the flowers, but also it's citrus black aphid time.
Yes.
And so they are going to pose a real problem. And just to depress people, I think we should put a picture of black aphid up, don't you?
Yeah. They're on their way.
Yeah. And they breed very quickly. Again, white oil will actually give you some control over these.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is
you're looking at a relatively small insect, and there he is, but you don't normally see him like that. No, you more see him like this, with his mates, a few thousand of them, or all over the new forest like that. And you're getting this sticky black mess near the flowers, near the new leaves. White oil, again, will affect a reasonable control over this, so you can, as it were, kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Two pests with one oil might be the best way to put it. Yeah.
Okay, we have another caller on the line, and just to remind people to turn the sound down on their TVs, that's what's creating some of these problems that we're having tonight. So, are you there, caller?
Yes, hello.
Great, hi.
Yes, I'm ringing because we've got a dwarf lots of lemons tree.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got blossoms, but no leaves. The leaves have just fallen off. And there's no sign of insects or disease.
Wow.
Probably. Look, there are a number of ways you can knock the leaves off lemon trees. And one of the most popular methods is to over-fertilise them. I wonder if it's following on from fertilising.
Well, yes, my husband did do a fertiliser sheep manure.
Look, when you, citrus are a little bit fussy. And when you put a fair bit of strong element material, the nitrates in particular in this case, it ends up sucking the moisture out of the roots because it's reverse osmosis. Roots work by osmosis. If you put too strong a fertiliser on, the water's actually sucked out rather than taken in, and the response to that is to go, oh dear, I'm in trouble, poof, drop the leaves. And I'm afraid that's what it's done. When it should, this is really going to make you upset. Now, this is what it should look like.
There's the lots of lemons with lemons and leaves.
But bear with it. Don't, whatever you do, put any more fertiliser on. The last thing you want to do, just bear with it. It probably will come back, although you may well lose the crop. Or it might flower a little bit out of season and you'll get weird fruit. But just bear that in mind in the future and it should be okay.
It certainly raises the question of sheep manures now and a lot of those animal manures that they weren't what they used to be. And unfortunately we still think that these manures are quite soft and quite good on the garden. But a lot of these manures now, they're heavily soaked in urea from the animal's urine and stuff as to where they're held and where the sheep manure is harvested. So that can certainly...
A very powerful product, so it should be used with great caution to anybody using animal manures, particularly the bagged ones. If you've got access to a shearing shed, that's a better quality product.
So the other thing too is have a chat to your husband and say, we don't need your bucket hands full. Try to get him to think in terms of a 4-year-old handful.
You're blaming her husband. She hasn't mentioned her husband at all.
Well, it's probably
You're just
fair bet.
assuming responsibility.
So the idea there, particularly if you're near the coast where you've got alkaline soil and things like that, you can really get carried away at this time of year because...
And we are at the coast and we have alkaline soil.
Trace elements as well.
So when you... Now, in the future, when you come back to feeding your citrus, and no need to do anything now, just use a general purpose fertiliser and, as I think we said last week, with complete trace elements. Important.
Okay.
And good luck. It will recover. They're tough as a boot, lemons, so it will recover.
Absolutely. All right. Okay, we've got time for one more call.
Wow.
Caller, are you there?
I hope so. Hello, welcome to the garden. Oh,
g'day guys.
Oh, you had us worried there.
Hello. Going back several years ago, I picked up some seeds from Canning Vale of the jacaranda.
Yes.
I stored them for around about 6 months, and I finally planted them. And out of about the 20 I put in, I've got about 3 trees. Now, fast forward this 6 years, they're still in pots, and I'm about to move to a new house, and I was just wondering how close could I put them to the new house, or can I just keep them in pots?
Can I answer your question by showing you this picture, which is, and that is only a half-grown jacaranda, right? So absolute minimum distance, 4 metres, absolute minimum distance. So you'll see they're not really well suited for the major. In fact, if that doesn't persuade you, let me show you this picture, right? Now there's your house underneath, and there's the jacaranda about maturity. So be very careful.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, be very careful. Gorgeous trees, maybe, but they do get big. So now, next question: can you keep them in a pot?
If you like bonsais.
Well, they never really look good.
It's not going. No, they're not going to look good. They're going to look scraggly. They'll.
Jacaranda Festival coming up next month. November.
Maybe one in his house.
Maybe one. Yeah, just 1. 3. Find some friends to give them away.
Just remember, when you pull it out of that pot, if it's been in there for 6 years, it's going to be root bound. So certainly look at those roots, like we explained earlier as well.
No, just changing hats, putting my tree lopping hat on. Plant as many as you can. As by Jeez, you'll make me a rich person.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks. Cool.
Thank you.
Can we squeeze in the email about blueberries? Of course
yes, very quickly.
Yes. We've got.
Okay, sorry, I'll just get to that email now that we've got to rush. Okay, we have a email in from Barbara. Hi, this young blueberry bush has grown a long bare shoot with only a few leaves on the top. Should I leave it alone or prune it? Your advice would be appreciated. Thank you, Barbara.
Okay, and Barbara sent us a picture, which is wonderful because it does tell 1,000 words. Yes. And here we go. What you can see is that central shoot certainly racing away, isn't it? And that, to me, says we're talking about rootstock getting away here. It's probably a grafted one. And the rootstock that they use, you can get it in.
We can see it.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it is rootstock.
Yep. The rootstock they use is a very tough and vigorous blueberry. So what you need to do is to go down and cut it off as low as you can, Barbara, straight away. Really, that's it. Yeah, simple answer. Don't let it dominate, because what you might land up with is a few blueberries on it, but not a decent crop.
Exactly.
What you want is, they've mostly finished flowering now, and you want a nice, rich crop of good-sized blueberries, just like this. That's the cue. They're going to change the picture. Go and have a look at the picture of blueberries. No, not there. Okay, all right. We tried.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, there it is. Yep.
Yeah,
and then you'll get some decent flavour. I think I've ranted about this before in the program, haven't I? These big blueberries you get at the supermarket.
No.
Not big.
Water bags.
No flavour. Yeah, water bags. Hopeless things. Hopeless. Gary.
Yeah.
We have a few events coming up in the future.
Yeah.
We've got to tell people about those. Hang on, let me see what I can do.
So we're coming into our spring season, and we've got an awful lot of events coming through. Mm-hmm. Starting with the Manures Expo. John and Peter are heading off there. And that's the reason why you won't be on next week's show.
No, I'll be leaving Wednesday afternoon. We're going up to Manures. We're doing talks on the catwalk.
Yeah,
I'll be a model on the catwalk. There we go.
Wow. He's on the fashion catwalk.
In between the fashion shows, we're doing talks on everything involving gardening and also farming.
Terrific.
So, look forward to it. I like the Manures show. It's a good show.
And because John's not there, Alison's coming to join the panel next week.
All right. So that's Manures Expo. And then there's an event at Cambridge Community Garden.
This is a beautiful setup where it's basically called Spade to Table. So it's talking about growing veggies.
Most of us use spoons. We're polite. Spades. Okay.
And then bringing it through to the next stages of it, preparation and things like that.
Okay.
So,
do you have to book for that?
You need to go onto the website.
Okay.
And you'll see the details.
She'll give you the web address in a moment.
Yes.
Oh, well, we'll do it right now. Look. beyondgardens.com.au. There's a lot good in the back rooms here.
And you will see an events calendar there, and whenever we're going to be anywhere, we've always put it on there, so it makes it nice and easy.
And we're also going to be at Carragullen Field Days. Not too hard to guess where that's going to be. Carragullen, place to go.
And I've got some breaking news about that. Carragullen is offering 5 passes to the Carragullen thing. All you've got to go is go into TV at beyondgardens.com.au, put your name down, and you just may win it, and we'll probably announce it next week.
So what you do is you say, I love you, Gary, and your mother, happy birthday. Please give me a pass. Please give me a pass to Carragullen.
And both open the bribery.
The good thing about the Carragullen Field Day or the Carragullen Expo is it's focused largely on fruit growing.
Oh, it is. But lots of other things there as well. It's a great day out.
It's just up the road as opposed to Manures.
Just up in the hills, Manures is well worth going to there. And if you do, please take the extra time to go out and see Coal Seam Park.
Absolutely.
Amazing place. And was there one more?
Yes, Piney Lakes Environment Centre.
Okay, and that's a fair bit off, so we can talk about that perhaps again
next week.
Next week, same time. So we're going to be back again the same time next week with more queries. And don't forget, please, you can, jot the number down now. Not too hard, is it?
6468 5994.
Yep.
Remember to turn the sound down, and we'll
jot that down ready for next
to
week.
Get to your questions.
Or, of course, we can take emails during the course of the week.
Yeah, and we love to send emails, and don't forget the photos because it makes life easier at tv@beyondgardens.com.au. And don't forget to apply for those Carragullen passes.
Absolutely. And also, in the meantime, if you haven't got a pressing question, go onto the Beyond Gardens website and have a look at our forum. And there's over 1,000 people registered there. And
try and you can register yourself. Beyondgardens.com.au. Not too hard. We hope you've enjoyed our program tonight. It's been fun. It's been live, well, at least once. It was live.
Back on the 11th.
We go through this every time, don't we?
If it's not the 11th, it's not live anymore.
Okay, and we will be back at the same time next week, same station, and we trust that we can enjoy your company once again. Cheers.
Thank you.